Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So today I made some chicken noodle soup. Yes, it's cold outside and a perfect time for chicken noodle soup. Okay. So first you're gonna need about 4 chicken thighs. I had this in my freezer, so that's what I used. You're gonna need an onion, celery, and carrots. So right now I'm showing you what we need to build our stock. We're gonna make our stock from scratch. You're also gonna need some parsley for later, some thyme, and some rosemary, 2 bay leaves, maybe about 3 to 4 garlic cloves, but I did have one more clove of that elephant garlic left, and just a piece of ginger. I'm not using that whole piece of ginger. So all I could find at the grocery store was just some Amish egg noodles, okay? The pasta aisle was pretty bare, and that's all they had. So you'll also need some chicken bouillon seasoning, some sea salt, a little adobo seasoning, black pepper, a little oregano, some garlic powder, onion powder, and some poultry seasoning. Okay, so let's get cooking. So first, all we're gonna do is just prep our vegetables for our chicken stock. Again, we're gonna make our chicken stock from scratch. It is pretty easy, okay? If you don't need to use all of your chicken stock, you can always freeze it, make some cubes out of it, and then you'll always have some chicken stock on hand if you don't wanna use the store-bought chicken stock. So I used 3 carrots and about 4 celeries, and it's just a rough chop. Nothing too fine, nothing too fancy, just a rough chop. We're also gonna chop up our onion as well, just a rough chop again. That's what you're gonna need to put into your pot. Also the rosemary and the thyme. Like I said, we're gonna use our garlic and our parsley and our ginger later on. So now I'm just gonna add my chicken thighs to my Dutch oven, and I'm gonna add in all of my veggies, and I did add about 6 cups of water to this whole pot. Okay, this is an easy recipe. You can do it however you like. Even if you have a Instapot, you can also do this in an Instapot and it'll be ready a lot quicker, or you can also do this in your crock pot and it'll be ready in about 8 hours. But today I'm gonna do it on the stove the old-fashioned way. So you just want to throw in your fresh herbs straight into there, and again, there goes that 6 cups of water. Now if you don't want to use water, hey, feel free to use the store-bought chicken stock, but like I said, we're making our own today. So we're gonna add in some black pepper, a little bit of the adobo seasoning, some seasoned salt, and the oregano. All the rest of the seasonings we're gonna use later. This is just to season our stock. And when you make it homemade like this, it comes out way more flavorful than the store-bought chicken noodle soup. It comes out delicious, it's rich, and it's savory. And you also want to just put your top on there just a little bit because it will boil over. So while that's cooking, we're going to go ahead and prep our veggies. For my carrots, I did use 3 carrots for my veggies in the next part of my chicken noodle soup. And I just cut my carrots at an angle. I didn't want to cut them too thin because we do kind of like a chunky chicken noodle soup. And that's the size that I have them all. And I'm gonna use about 3 stalks of celery. And this here, you just wanna chop them kind of thin. Not too thin, but enough where it'll still have a little crunch to it. And we're gonna dice up our onions as well. I didn't do those too thin because, you know, we do like onions here. So I did do them kind of, you know, thick, not diced. And then we're just gonna cut up our garlic. Again, you'll need about either 3 to 4 cloves of garlic, or if you don't like garlic, you can eliminate it altogether, but I am a garlic girl, okay? And also, I did chop up my ginger off camera. Back there behind my onions is just a little piece of ginger. So that's my chicken all done, my stock all done, and I'm just straining it into a separate bowl. We're gonna get rid of all the veggies that we did cook with it and just leave the chicken. So now we're gonna saute up the other veggies that we have prepared. So you just need about a tablespoon, probably a little less than a tablespoon of olive oil. And just stick everything in there and just saute it up for about 10 minutes. Also, my heat is on a medium high. Now we're going to prep our chicken. I'm just removing the skin because I did use bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs. So I'm just gonna remove the skin and I'm gonna use 2 forks just to shred it up. As you see, it just falls apart. I mean, it's easy peasy. It is too easy to be cheesy. Don't mind me, y'all. I'm just a little goofy. So now we're gonna go and add in our garlic and our ginger, and we're gonna saute that for about another minute or 2. And now we're gonna go back in with the chicken stock that we did make ourselves. And you might have to add just like a cup of water to it, and that's perfectly fine, okay? Give that a good stir. And now we're gonna season up this. We're gonna season this up with the rest of our seasonings, our onion powder, garlic powder, our poultry seasoning. I did go back in with a little bit more adobo and oregano, and we're gonna add in our chicken stock. I mean, not chicken stock, but our chicken bouillon. And once I added the bouillon to it, I did go back and taste it to see if it needed a little bit more salt, and it just needed a tad bit more. So I just added another touch. And the poultry seasoning, it also adds another level of richness to the soup. And we're gonna go in with some black pepper. Okay, if somebody is sick in your home, you know, you give them this homemade chicken noodle soup, guaranteed by the next day, they are gonna be feeling so much better. So we're gonna go in with our 2 bay leaves. You know, just put it in the pot, honey. And I did go back in and just took some time off the little sprig and added that to it as well. When I say that this is layered with flavor, honey, you can't beat this. This is the best chicken noodle soup you are gonna taste. Now, as far as the noodles go, this is not my go-to noodles. I'd rather use regular wide egg noodles, but again, our grocery stores, you know, our grocery stores need to go to the grocery store. So now you want to remove the bay leaves, and with the noodles I added in maybe about 3 or 4 handfuls. I didn't use the whole bag because if you do use the entire bag, it's just going to soak up all that chicken stock that we created. So now you want to add back in your meat, the chicken that you shredded. When you put your noodles in, you do want to cook your noodles in your stock according to what the package is. And once you do add your chicken, you're just going to let that cook for maybe like another 5 to 10 minutes. And when I did, I didn't mention this in the beginning, but when I did make my chicken stock, I did let that cook for about 1 hour and 30 minutes. And now we're just gonna put it in the bowl and plate it up, okay? I mean, this dish is so delicious. It is so easy to make. Once you get it into your bowl, you just want to top it with just a little bit of parsley. You can serve this with some crackers, some garlic bread, some, cheese toast or cheese bread, you know, whatever it is you want to cook it, eat it with, or a grilled cheese sandwich, you know, it's all up to you. The possibilities are unlimited when you're in the kitchen. And boom, ta-da! You guys just remember, you are always favored with flavor in the kitchen. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and I'll see you guys soon.